Hi everyone. So today I want to talk about how I lost 7.13 pound and 7.3 pounds in 1 week. That doesn't happen to me. I think when I did the sugar diet, I lost right at 7, but I gained 2 back almost immediately. Um, but giving, I had a lot of fruit and fruit juice, and you know, it just was natural. I was going to gain some of that back, but I just that's insane. And I mean, I was eating. Well, you can look at the shorts and see what I ate. I mean, I've had, some days were a little more calories, some of them were a little under caloried. I, you know, I but I didn't eat tiny amounts. I don't think I had any. I think I had one day when I really wasn't that hungry and I ate maybe mm, around 600 calories, but that was just one day. But I ate all whole, healthy foods um, on the lower fat side, but not really. Yesterday it was actually over 40% fat, so um, it's not really low fat, but it's all healthy foods and not overeating and making smart choices, and I'm keeping it light. And the big thing is that, um, yeah, some months I don't do so well. Sometimes I'm on a roll. I have a momentum going, and part of it is not continuing to push it and not having a day when I eat a little bit more. Um, that can stop the momentum as well. So it's a nice balance that keeps that momentum going. And so what I've learned, and I was afraid to eat too much or eat too much whatever. I've had this problem of, well, let me just keep going with it, but I don't want to go too low. But okay, sometimes I'll go low, and maybe I ought to stay in that category and kind of keep going with that. There has to be a balance where I'm not 100% of the time going a little too strict, a little too undercaloried, a little too. It has to be a balance between that and having a little more and eating a little bit differently. It's there is a balance there. Um, so I know that I was a little too strict at the end of October, and yeah, I got a stall, and then I got out of it, but then I kind of didn't have the momentum going, and then I got in a really good groove. And when I did something different in New York, the rubber band effect happened, and because I was used to having that strict, healthy diet, clean diet, I went back to it, and it just went back, and then lost some more. It was something different. But the thing is that I'm learning not to be afraid to go for it when the times are good. I mean, I had a choice this week. It was like, okay, do you want to take your more higher calorie refeed now, or you want to wait till Sunday? Do you want to do it now? Like, I'm all throughout, I was like, oh, I can only lose weight 3 days in a row and I don't lose any weight anymore. Well, let me try one more day. I mean, it seems like we're doing well. So I went with the fourth day, and I was doing fine. Then I had a little bit of starches day, and I still lost 0.1 pound. So I still was going. And then he's like, okay, let's go for another. Let's do a good strict diet a day with clean eating and lighter. And I did well. And then it was like, well, you still want to do that, or you think we're ready for more starches in your diet? No, well, let me give it one more day. And then I lost 1.5 pounds yesterday. I mean, which I showed this morning. This morning I weighed, and that's what I lost overnight, whatever you want to call it. And then, of course, I'm going, yeah, it's time to have a little more calories, a little more starch, that kind of thing. And that's what you'll see today. My diet looks a little bit different. Well, tonight when I get this video out and get this short out. But um, there is a way of doing that. It's a nuanced approach for me. It's that's why having a health coach can be very, very helpful if you work well with them and communicate well with them, and they get to learn what works well for you, and you communicate if you're getting too hungry, or if you're, something's not working right, and work through all that. Of course, you have to have a good health coach. Mine is Chris, Body, Mind, Spirit. You can find him on YouTube, Chris, Body, Mind, Spirit. Yeah, maybe try hiring him. You might be surprised what you can do. But anyway, there is a nuanced approach to what I'm doing. And I don't think at all I would do as near as well on my own, but I could still lose weight. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm doing all the work. I'm the one who puts in the effort, the work, getting my mind in the right place. How I just want to continue to eat well and have those careful cheat meals. The days when I have the cheat meals, and I'm very careful to make it light the rest of the day. Things like that. And as I get along and I get more, I get slimmer, I might be able to be a little bit more flexible with what I can do. But, it's trial and error to see where I'm at. But anyway, it's because I have that momentum of being consistently clean eating, switching it up a little bit as I go along, and that is what makes the difference. Again, like I said, it's a very nuanced approach, and it takes a good health coach to help you get the most out of your what you can do when you have the momentum. Sometimes the momentum isn't there, and you got to work through it. But when it's good, I always find the health coach to be helpful since I've had him 3.5 months now. But yeah, they can really make hay while the sun shines, so to speak, if you give them a chance to, if you have a really good one. And I have a really good one. So anyway, I just wanted to explain what was going on, that I am in a good place for losing weight right now, and I am making the absolute most of it, not being afraid to go for it. Yeah, it's right before the holidays. Okay. As I said before, I don't have any parties planned until New Year's Eve, and then I'm going to let loose, so to speak. Not go crazy, but, kind of have a more calories than I usually have, but not a crazy amount. And until then, I will have days when I always make it something that I enjoy. That's the important thing that I think some people don't get is, I like cottage cheese, okay? I like scrambled eggs. I like yogurt. I like fruit. I would have more vegetables, but sometimes they kind of bloat me a bit. So sometimes I have them, like today. You'll see my short. I did have more vegetables than I usually have. I don't often have broccoli, but I had broccoli today. It's not that I don't like it. I just don't do super well with it all the time. I had some artichokes, things like that. And you will see the weight go up most likely tomorrow when I do my weigh in, my next short. And I expect it. If it doesn't, then I'll be surprised. Yeah, part of it also, I have to keep saying this, is resistance training. It does help with metabolism. It helps me to maintain my muscle. I'm not really, hopefully I get a little more muscle in my arms because they're pretty wimpy. It helps me maintain muscle, maybe build a little bit in some areas where I'm a little weak, like my upper body is particularly weak. And I can feel a little bit in the arms. I can feel more in the shoulders and all of that, and the upper back and everything. But and obviously it helps my lower body as well. But it does keep that muscle, and that muscle is what helps you burn more calories. So therefore you have a little higher metabolism. So I encourage you to consider, if you are not doing any resistance training, try it. At least look at some good videos from reputable sources on YouTube for how to do that, or find a personal trainer. Because I can tell you, as somebody who goes to a rec center, people do it wrong all the time, and I'm like, because my health coach is also a personal trainer, and I'm still learning. I don't have everything down just right. I'm coming on 2 months that he's been working with me over the phone, and me showing him some videos. Am I doing this right, and all that kind of thing, and trying to make sure I have the target muscles, feel the target muscles, and understand pull and push and what's doing what. But anyway, it's very, very helpful to know what you're doing, because otherwise you're not going to work those muscles right, and you're just going to be going back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back. Like you're supposed to be like resistance and then back. Like it's sort of one of those things where what are you doing? I don't think that's really working. But hey, whatever. But I do observe some things, and I don't laugh at people, but I'm like, that's not the right way to do it. You're not really going to get the help that you need with it. So yeah, try to get some knowledge about how to do this correctly. I mean, even if you just get, a month or two with a personal trainer, that can be golden for helping you to understand how to actually properly work the muscles. It helps your metabolism so much. And I am sure that is part of why I'm doing so much better now. I mean, I can hit stalls. I can hit times when things aren't going to go so well, but right now they're going well. And that's what I said from before, don't be afraid to lose a little bit more when the times are good. Now I have the momentum. I could say, oh, it's the holidays. Let me just try to maintain during this. But I had, and as my health coach said also, and I wanted to discontinue too, but I had the momentum, so why not? I I certainly would like to lighten up some more, and I mean, I could have stopped before by Thanksgiving and been about 227. Now I'm 220. It's very possible that I will get to the 218 mark by sometime by the end of this week. I could very well have reached my 100 pounds in a year, because I started at December 26th of last year. I may very well do it. I'm not going to speak too much because things can happen, but I could do that. And I've decided I was going to be like, well, I can loosen up a little. I'm like, if the momentum's good, I will enjoy myself on Christmas Eve. I will do, be careful, but have something on Christmas Day. I'll show you what I have. And Christmas Eve is going to be like, oh my, Margie, you're going to really blew it up. It's like, no, it's going to be fine. It'll go up a little, obviously, but yeah. And then I'm going to just, continue to follow that momentum, and that the rubber band effect, I'm back to my consistency, because I would really like to get to Wonderland one of these days, 100 and whatever. I haven't seen that since I was 20. So that would be amazing. I can just imagine how many more clothes I can fit into. Not that I buy too many at once because I keep shrinking. So, and I'm not complaining about shrinking, but I just can imagine what else I can wear, and and looking a little bit better and having a few less lumps, so to speak. But anyway, all that to say, if you get a really good momentum and you're really consistent and you're careful to, kind of switch things up a little bit as you go along, and especially if you have a health coach that's really good and you do some resistance training, it's amazing what you can do. Now, I expect I'm going to lose 7.3 pounds this week? No, not. But could I lose, 3-4 pounds? Maybe 5? Possible. I don't know. We shall see. Anyway, all that to say, um, rubber band effect, part two, so to speak, momentum. It's important to think about how to keep your metabolism going. And if you do the exact same thing every single day, I don't know. I mean, it depends on your diet plan, I guess. But I see the switching it up as being a really important thing to do, but being consistent. I don't. I sounds like contradictory, but you know, I'm finding it amazing what I can do if I listen to the coach and follow the suggestions, and they're on board with me, and he is very much on board with me, and understands my momentum is there, my motivation is there, and I still get to go have fun. I had two Thanksgiving meals, so to speak, about an hour, a week and a half apart. I had 5 days in New York where I ate starchy, fatty foods. Then I'm being, real careful for a couple of weeks. Let me see. I came back on basically it was the 7th, but it was, anyway, I started the 7th eating clean again. So that's like 2.5 weeks. And then, I get to enjoy Christmas. And then I'm back to it again. That's the way that I choose to do it. Some people will choose to do things differently, have more parties and whatnot to deal with. And that's your affair. But I'm telling you this, if you want to start in the new year, in 2026, things to keep in mind. Consistency makes it easier to have those fun meals, and sometimes several, one lovely meals in a row, so to speak, and one a day, so to speak, for several days, once in a while. It gives you a greater ability to snap back to where you were if you just go back to what you were doing, instead of being a little too extreme, in my opinion, from my experience. So now that I've rambled on and on and on, I hope that you all have a good rest of your Sunday, and that you have a great holiday season. And remember, mindset is a big deal. Understanding that being consistent and clean eating and all that kind of thing can be super powerful to help you be a little more flexible and have your parties and not have it wreck your your weight progress. I mean, obviously it's going to tick up a little bit and then it'll go down again. But anyway, I am looking forward to having those 100 pounds off. I am looking forward to losing to the point where I get to the Wonderland, which that's going to be a while, but it will happen here in the next, I don't know, couple months. Just continue to follow my progress if you would. Like, comment, and subscribe. And maybe share the video if you think you find somebody who might find this helpful. I'm here to help you and tell you it's not just something that I can do. It's something you can do too. I am nobody special. I don't have a great metabolism. I started off very unathletic and hardly able to walk. I mean, I was able to walk, but I was walking really super slow, not super steady, not getting upstairs super well. And now I'm slow and steady up the stairs, but I get up the stairs fairly well. And I'm still a slow walker, but I'm much faster than I used to be, and I'm quite stable when I walk. And I'm able to do resistance training. I'm building myself back up, and if I can do it, you can too. Have a good day.